And now it's that time of our Saturday Satsang where we have some lovely sharing from a speaker. And today we have with us Marla Faith. Let me share the screen and then give a little intro. This also once again wishes a very happy Diwali and Children's Day to everyone. So, Marla has been making and teaching art for a long while, and she will share with us her powerful and healing art and poetry, which is filled with beloved Baba's love and stories. Thank you so much for being there with us, Marla, and looking forward to a wonderful time with you.
Thank
Jai
you,
Baba.
Jay Baba. Thanks for the beautiful, colorful poster you made and that incredible string band song. I love the incredible string band. One of my most favorite bands. I saw them many times in high school and even went backstage when I was 16 to invite them over to my parents' house for dinner, but they didn't come. So it was great to hear that. So I wonder if I could share my screen and show Baba art in the background while I read poems. Does that work? Oh, you're on silent.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, yes, I will stop the
Okay.
share.
Okay.
Yes,
And
you can share.
okay,
Ah,
share screen. Let's
copy.
see. There we go.
Buatnya di doang.
Share.
We request everyone else to mute their mics, please.
And let's go to play. Whoops. Okay. You can all hear me okay? So Roshani, are you going to be translating into Hindi after each poem I do?
No, if need be, we will just, the gist of it, I will maybe just share. Otherwise, we'll take a long time. So,
Okay, okay. Because so I'll go in the order the way I sent them to you, just in
yes.
case. What I'm going to be doing is I have this new book called The Diver and the Pearl. It's art and poems for Baba, and I'm going to read like a half a dozen from here. And then I've got this older book from a few years ago called Listening to the Bones that also has a lot of Baba art and poems, and I'll read some from here. I actually have a brand new book which is more about gods and goddesses in Buddhism and Hinduism and some poems, but I'm not going to read from there. So anyway, they're all at Share Your Press, and I'll just flip through some images as I go, and we'll see how it does. And then time for questions and more as we like. So let's see if this works like this. Okay, this is a pastel. So the first poem is called Daman. And thank you, Roshani, so much for inviting me to do this. It's quite an honor to share with Baba people. Holding his daman has lifted me over miles of pain. I have ridden this flying carpet made of his soft white sadra, sailed over jagged mountains, his daman wrapped through my fingers like silken talus threads. I have ridden this rainbow, leaving worry behind. The hem of his garment is my invisible cloak, the breeze that kisses my face, his hand patting my cheek. His glistening eyes are sparkles in the sea. My beloved's hem supports us all, pulls us from trenches where we might fall. In everything, I hold his daman. Be my dakini. You have invited my pulse into your veins. Once I have put my palm on your forehead, there is no going back. I am integrated into you. Light streams through consciousness. I have given you my own blood, sweet as nectar. When you evaporate, you will come to me. This is the immortality so many seek, to live forever in me. I carry the pain and happiness of the universe like bangles on my wrists, colors both luminous and sublime. I am your sister, father, and mother. Your home is in me. The whirling dervishes have nothing on you. They have to whirl to get to ecstasy, but all you have to do is look into my eyes. sailing in your hand. Find your home within my hand. Your boat sails in my heart, its sea of bliss cradling you. All the sweetness you have known is but a granule of sugar on my finger. People think you have a secret. It is the arrow of me through your heart. Painlessly I pierce your innermost being, where I have made my home and garland it with jasmine. The silver lining of every cloud exists in me. My hair is a meadow for you to roll upon. Krishna revealed himself to every maiden. Each experienced him fully, dissolving in the flute of his being. I have never stopped playing my flute, and you have never ceased dancing its tune. What a gift I have given to you. All you wanted was to serve me without expectation of glamorous reward, with only my kiss to keep you going. My love is the energy that moves mountains, yet gentle as a baby's eyelash. I need no offerings or rituals. The rosewater some pour upon my feet and sweet oranges left beside me are outer manifestations of their love. Yet those of you who love me silently while my arrow pierces your heart, I hear you as clearly as the ankle bells on dancing ants who tenderly circle me. Earthquakes come and go. People are born and die. Yet time is unreal when you stand within my hand. Receive.
Marla,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt.
No,
Would
please.
also love, after the poetry, if you could share a line or two about the lovely paintings,
Oh,
something, some inspiration or something about the paintings
okay.
of what
Um,
it,
these,
where it is.
I think the first was a pastel. I don't remember what the second was. And then there were some oil paintings. And this is a very small oil painting. They're all done from, these small black and white photographs. And I was trying to retain the looseness of a large painting, not get really tight in this small one. I have this one hanging in my bedroom. So it's sort of light and impressionistic, because the photograph was out of
Like, if you could share with us a description, like this is a picture at I think Meher Spiritual Center, uh,
this is probably,
Baba and Meher.
in India. I don't know what year.
Uh,
Your guess is as good
no,
as mine.
uh, th-
Um,
great.
I,
We'll
I, I
carry
will,
on.
okay, receive. My thumbprint is between your eyes. Having smudged you with my ginormous kiss, you have entered the garden, and the flowers are all inside you now. The call you wear is of my own making, woven in strands of sheer impenetrable love. There are no more roller coaster rides for you, only this rebuilding from within. A divine architect is at play to reconfigure you in harmony with me. I press my finger to your brow, and electric waves travel through to ground you and make you a permanent receptor to my love. So this painting, this is actually a photograph of a postcard I made of the painting because I sold this one to a non-Baba lover. I had gotten some operation and I sent a thank you postcard of this image to the anesthesiologist, and he wrote back he wanted to buy the painting. And I imagine it was not because he liked the painting so much as that it was Baba who, was talking to him through the painting. So I sold it to him. I no longer have it, and I have no idea what happened to him, if he got more into Baba or what. But it's one of my favorite images. And I've got another one later on, a more recent charcoal of this very image. So I like to be a little bit not so photorealistic, but interpretive with my colors and making the frame and everything around it. I think this is from, if I'm right, it's from 1933, but I might not be right. Oh, okay. And then this is a larger painting. I think it's called A Party for the Beloved, oil painting. And I don't grid my canvases first. To make it realistic, I just start painting. And oftentimes have to repaint a whole head because it's too big, or, really change things. And he comes and he goes. And if anybody's interested, on every Tuesday through the Avatar Mayor Baba Circle of Friends, we do a free Zoom Drawing the Beloved class, drawing Baba from photographs, which is really, it's been wonderful. I think we've had almost a few months by now, and you can find that on the calendar. Surrender, breathing joy. You think you are in a boat, but it is only my arms cushioning you against the waves. I cannot drop you from this embrace. If you fell, you would still land upon my lap. Surrender to my love, whose blossom is forever pink. The divine intelligence has many names, Goddess Earth and Formless One. Do not doubt my living truth. Listen, my dear, the world spins upon my finger, yet still I have time for you. Take solace in my sahavas, the pleasure of my company. Want for nothing but to please me, and my tender will be yours. My tender will be yours. That doesn't sound right, but that's the way I wrote that. Okay. So this is a pastel of Baba with monkey, a large pastel, which I need to warn you, if you do chalk pastels, they are always dusty and chalky, and you shouldn't spray them, because if you do spray them with a fixative, it changes the color and the texture. So this one has gotten darker. You just have to go frame it, because it'll always come off on you if you lean against it. This was the very first photograph I was given of Baba when I first came to him in 1978. My old friend who gave me a little photograph of Baba, and then I finally drew it just this, like a year ago or so. Message to a pearl diver in times like these. It is not us and them, but only us. Someone to play at being crashing waves while unknowingly they are part of the ocean. Having forgotten they are beautiful coral, they become sharp and cut the feet of their brothers and sisters, causing blood to flow in the ocean. The avatar comes in a tidal wave of love, like the Red Sea swallowing armies. Humanity is caught in this ebb and flow, buried in sand, then repeatedly brought back to life each era. You are but palm trees with shallow roots that fall down in heavy storms. The diver dips beneath it all into an unchanging landscape. When you live on the surface, you are tossed by the waves. If you remain on the shore, they will hurl themselves at you. Only in the depths is the pearl of peace found. You can breathe underwater where equanimity resides. The pearl diver story is a map past the waves of change. To fetch and swallow this pearl, to find that the halo is within you, my dear. When you return to the beach, the winds will no longer knock you down, for your mortal coil has been unwound, and the fragrance of my breath is all around. So, Roshani, if you want to interrupt at any time, I know I'm not pausing much, but please feel free.
No worries, you can carry on, Marla.
Okay, this is the painting behind me. It's pretty large, and it's Baba holding cracker. And again, it's from, a black and white photo, so I improvise and I put it in a a garden, an ocean setting, and I've glued on beads and fake flowers. And, I did this some years ago, and then I see things that I think I could fix, but I'm sort of scared to go back into it after so many years, because when you go back in to fix one thing, then something else talks to you and it becomes a whole nother painting. So I'm leaving it this way for now. At the abode, you kissed my heart and it burst open, petal by petal, pouring your sun like butterscotch rays of penetrating light. You are a hummingbird who flutters near. If I am quiet, you will land on the smooth branch of my rib, and I will hear you with the ear of my heart saying, with each prayer to be worthy, the soot falls away. Desiring nothing but me and to please me, the sun burns off what is unnecessary. Each time you invite me into your heart, I move a little more of my furniture in and your furniture out. Pretty soon you won't even recognize the place. So this one seems a little out of focus. This was one I improvised, and I used to have a parrot called Kiwi, and I put Kiwi on Baba's lap in this one, and made him be outside. So it's a small oil painting. This instant, you can come to me right now, this instant. Let down your shield and let clarity reign. There is a highway between our hearts, pulling us closer until we dissolve in mystical union. This is mystic marriage when you take me into your heart. You have come so far that the wings are only symbolic now. You can fly without them. Bring more bliss into the world. Mirror my ocean to those you love. Shed all veils that bar you from truth. I am the drink for which so many search, the balm that heals all ills. You have booked passage on the mystical path. It is a plane of consciousness. Take the hand I offer. Leave this self of mind and luggage behind, for this is a weightless space that I invite you into. The mind empty of worries is able to enter. The baggage of thoughts you carry will not fit onto this plane. Come to me now, dear one, for your place has been reserved for eons. So in this one, the ginkgo leaves, I believe ginkgo is the oldest tree, and they are reflective of remembrance. So this painting is called Remember Me, and the leaves are falling down behind him and upon him. And I reworked this one so many times, I just couldn't get the head right. And it's still not right, but I just gave up and left it as it is. And these oil paintings are quite a meditation to do, because, just one wrong stroke or one different angle or a piece of light or color, and he disappears. It's like he's constantly playing hide and go seek. And then he comes back, and then he smiles at me. He's like, okay, you got it. You're closer. So I'm constantly, when I'm painting, listening to Baba to tell me what to do. And then I lose him, and then he comes back, and it's frustrating and it's fun. And I still don't have him in this one, but I left this one be. Occupy Baba. When I crush the jasmine in my hand, the fragrance remains. Do not grieve the green bud self that has matured into leathered leaf. For now you can hear me when I whisper, we are all God bright and beautiful, and we are all him old and frail. Was the perfume any less in the later years? To live your life in my hand, to stake your tent upon my palm, the aroma is never far. You ride upon the dragon's back and do not know it. Someone should hold a mirror to you to see me sitting on this steed beside you. And I should mention that all of my art is on my website, marlafaith.com. All of the Baba pieces and many, many more than these are there. So this one is done, this little tea time, it's done from a little photograph, and it's done with water-soluble crayons, which are a really fun medium. You can dip the crayon in water, you can just draw with it like a crayon and then add water to it. So it's sort of a loose rendition. Despair and hope. The news weighs me down like a wet wool blanket, a dream that I am trying to climb out of. It is a thick, oppressive slumber, an addiction that drenches my spirit and puts out my flame. How can I call the troops to rally with joy when I cannot find my own? When nothing seems worthwhile, how will we climb out of this current state? Like a dark cloud growing ever wider, prayers cannot pierce the heavens. The world feels like a sinking ship, our country at the helm. Do not despair, my dear. The inner world remains a refuge. Seasons continue to change. Green tendrils always return. Come back to the breath and the present moment. Do not abandon ship. You are passing out life jackets even now. The mountain energy is great within you. The streams of water are your blood. Nourish yourself with light echoing deep within you. This invisible thing called love holds up the planet. Rumi and Hafez sit beside you. Rabbiah behind you, Mirabai before you. So many poet saints are whispering, give them voice. Poetry is part of the boat that will save the world. Each line is a life vest to keep someone afloat. There is a caged bird in your heart. Open the door and let her fly out. You were born for this time. Your calling is upon you. There is no separation between nature and humanity. The tendrils of your veins are connected to leaf and vine. Your laughter is the babbling brook. Child of the heavenly gate, you have kept your wings folded for long enough. Unzip the featherweight cloak that hides your light. Today, the universe calls for your full self to emerge. We are legions rooted in the brightness of truth and beauty. So this is imaginary mixed with realism, where I took a photograph of Baba with his alphabet board, but I sat him on a cushion on the crescent moon, garlanded with flowers, with symbols of some of the religions around him. Listening to the bones. The path of love leads to your door. The threshold is the pillow your feet rest upon. I am a tree that has been tapped by you, and all of my sap has turned to sugar. I open my eyes and there are crystals in my hands. Petals of rose and camellia waft around me. It is hard to believe that you are in the dark-hearted ones, yet you must be. Once upon a lifetime, I must have been one too. The pendulum swings from one side to the other. This time I've earned your kisses. You've allowed me to focus on beauty. Unravel the age-old sanskaras that clog my bones. New blood is made with ease, and I am willing to release all fear in the kindness of your eyes. How lightly you tap your fingers and toes. Your sweet rose scent permeates my heart and saturates my blood. You make me light enough to sit on a lotus leaf. Listen to the bones, Hanuman. Ram is breathing there, delicately etching his name manifold times on each one until they hum with that name. And he says, release all grasping. I will crush you until only pearls remain. And these are two water-soluble grand pieces. One is of the Lagoon Cabin at Meher Center in Myrtle Beach. I put Baba in the doorway because he says that he never leaves there. And in the other, it's a picture of the boathouse, and I put Baba in the gondola. It's very small pieces. And that's all the poems I brought to share. I have more in the books, but I was concerned about taking up too much time. So I'll go through the rest of the art. This is a small drawing called Open Heart Surgery, and then also share the story of the diver and the pearl that I've put on here. And then we can have time for, discussion and questions if you want more poems, but I don't want to oversaturate you. This is when I was feeling sad years and years ago, and I did this drawing. I don't plan the drawing. I don't know what's going to happen. They're sort of like the poems, that like automatic writing. I just start to doodle and something comes out, and I take it where it wants to go until it feels complete. And the same with the poems. I sit on my meditation cushion and they just come to me. This is an oil pastel done some years ago. It's about this big, realizing that, I need not worry. I'm in my boat, and my oar arms, that Baba is totally guiding them with every step. And this is called a Ring of Fire. It's a chalk pastel. It's a very large drawing where I am stepping through this ring of fire that Baba is, that I can totally trust. A few years ago, I went through a bone marrow stem cell transplant, which is, got a 25% rate of people who live through it. And it's almost 3 years now. And so I had to totally put my trust in him. Even though the drawing was done years earlier, that's what I felt like at the time, that I was stepping through a ring of fire, and that going through that, saying yes and breathing his name through the whole process and through the whole healing and through the blood transfusion, that it was all, it was just taking him into me, and really total surrender. So another one, one of these imaginary ones where I might be feeling sad, but knowing he's holding me. So there's this sort of little homunculus, this little miniature me that he's holding, a very tiny, small pencil drawing. This is a large painting done of the women mandali at the entombment of Baba. This is called Lamentation. It's a big oil painting, and Rano Gali is kneeled on the side. There's Amani and Arnavaz and Mara. Well, actually, that's Katie's, right? Katie's in the purple on the other side. I think that's Dr. Gohair behind Mani. And although that looks like Mansari behind Mani with a green bag, I'm not positive if it is or not. Large oil painting done a few years ago, maybe less. So it reminded me very much, when I saw the photograph in a book, it reminded me of the Renaissance paintings of, the entombment and lamentation of Jesus. And I was like, oh my God, I have to do this painting. So sometimes I'll take the same theme and paint it over and over. There's Baba with his alphabet board, and this is a small oil painting. This time I put him on my imaginary lotus over the ocean. This is called Night Lotus. And this is a really small drawing. I don't even remember what medium this is. It's probably a mixture of colored pencil and the water-soluble crayon. We did this in the class together. People mostly did it in pencil, but I went into color, the one that I do on Tuesdays through the Circle of Friends Zoom site. So we'll take, and people can work on whatever image they want, or sometimes we'll project one image and we'll all work on it together. And it's a great way to meditate on Baba, to just be doing this, and very calming, especially during these coronavirus and political times. It's a really calming thing to do. This is a tiny collage. This is Baba with, I believe it's Pegu, the cat, from a little, it's a little photograph, and I didn't cut up the real photograph. It's a printout of the photograph, and then I surrounded it with a real ginkgo leaf with a little fortune from a tea bag fortune with tiny crystals, with tiny dried flowers, with amethyst. I have a whole collection of collage supplies, and I'm really, collage is my main art form, and so sometimes many times I include Baba in these collages. This is, the whole collage is, I don't know, 8 by 8 inches or something. And here's that picture again of Baba in that chair. Phyllis Ott used to call it the Italian chair, so that's what I call it. I have no idea, but that's what she called it. It's from 1933, and this is a charcoal and Conti crayon drawing, recent one that we did in class together. We all tried doing this one. And this is probably about 18 by 20, 24 by 18 inches, maybe smaller. And this is another one in class. So to show you, we all looked at this photograph of Baba with his alphabet board. And I planned to do the whole thing, but somehow just his head came out. So it's just a pencil drawing. And, I work carefully erasing and drawing and getting his face. And then, I just sort of scribbled the hair and let it loose, rather than going all the way. Sometimes I like to do that. But the contrast of dark to light is what gives something its reality. We work upside down, we work backwards. And if you haven't tried drawing Baba, even if you've never drawn before, I encourage you to do it. I was terrible when I first started, but like practice, the more you do anything, the better it gets and the more fun. So here's the book, The Diver and the Pearl, which is based on a story in the Everything and Nothing. It's based on a Hafez quote that Baba expands upon in the Everything and Nothing. And I don't know, 20 years ago, I did these little colored pencil drawings, and then recently put them in a book with more of my art and art by others. And I've simplified the story into 12 pages. I have heard about an ocean. Many are drawn by its beauty and mystery. There is a pearl of divine wisdom hidden within the depths of the ocean. Most enjoy playing in the shallow waters, having forgotten that the pearl lies deeper. Some venture further, searching for the pearl, but get lost, delighting in the waves. Several learn to swim and master the art of swimming. Enjoying the mastery of swimming, the pearl is forgotten. Of the swimmers, a few learn to dive, and some remember to search for the pearl. Many divers become enamored of the lovely underwater sights and forget their purpose. Those who dive remain in awe in the depths of the ocean, gazing lovingly at the pearl. One remembers to grasp the pearl and carry it back to the surface. This diver remembers that the goal of reaching the pearl is to bring it back to shore to share. This diver reminds us that we too can swim, dive, and find the pearl of our own divinity. And this is the last page of the book, and I'm imagining I'm on the beach at Meher Center here, and everyone's pearl light is lit up. And that's it. And this book, I should say, Om Point Press published it, and it is available through Amazon in India and everywhere, as is my book, the Listening to the Bones, and the new one. So, oh, good. Now we're off the screen share. Thank you. So there we have it. And I don't know how much time we have left, Roshani. So where are we at? What should we do? I don't know if Roshani's there. All right. So let me open it up.
Yes. We have time, Marla. So you had given some names to each of the paintings. So I've just put them on here and would love you to share some anything on that if you wish.
Oh, okay. This one is called Remember Me. Um, I don't know where Baba was, what year this photograph was taken. Um, and I'm not sure. I guess I'd rather, if people want to say anything or ask anything.
Sure. If anyone would like to ask anything, please do a raise hand and we will scroll through the lovely paintings. Okay, Rosalie would like to ask. Jai Baba, Rosalie. Could you unmute? Yes.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba Marla.
Hi, Rosalie. Nice to see you.
Hi. It's so good to see you and all your art. I very much want to hear your Baba story.
Oh, you mean how I found Baba or how he found me?
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that. Does anyone know what time it is though? I want to be sure not to go over, and I don't have a clock
No,
on my.
we have time. We have about 20-25 minutes.
Oh, great. Okay. So
Yeah.
so the okay, so I grew up in the Jewish religion, and I loved going to temple with my grandfather and singing the songs, but it was just like too male dominated for me, everything. And so it was maybe when I was a freshman in high school and I read Be Here Now and I was reading Herman Hesse and Kahil Gibran and really searching um, for my master. Where was my master? And then I was a sophomore. I mean, I'm really going back now, way before, but since we have time. So I'm a sophomore in high school. I'm on the beach visiting my grandma in Florida. I'm reading, what was it? John Paul Sartre, Nausea, existentialist. And this man appears out of nowhere. His name is Cloud. He says, oh, you should read this by Franklin Jones, The Knee of Listening. He later became to Free John, Bubba Free John. And I read it, and it was very calming to me in high school. Every time I read it, it seemed to center me. But I still wasn't, and I was always painting and writing poetry through high school, but I still hadn't quite found my master. So I go to college. I go to Bard College in upstate New York. I grew up in Chicago. I was there for 2 years. And my second year, I met Arthur Trupp, who lives in Asheville, North Carolina. And he has just come back from India. Oh, and before that, I had met Muktananda that summer. And I liked Muktananda, but it wasn't like he wasn't mine. I wasn't his. So Arthur tells me about Baba. I read the discourses. I go with him to Darwin Shaw's for tea. It just seems like some nice old people drinking tea together. It doesn't resonate for me yet. But a year later, I moved to Kansas City. I'm going to the Kansas City Art Institute, and I'm needing a book to help me master my consciousness. I had met this woman who was into Elizabeth Clare Prophet and teachings of the Ascended Masters, and that was like too weird for me. And so I go into this feminist bookstore, only carry books by women, about women, for women. And they're like sitting on top of one of the bookcases staring out at me is Baba's face. And it's Alan Cohn's book, The Mastery of Consciousness. I was like, whoa, I know this face. This is a friendly face. Oh, and I just read Sri Rajneesh, Book of the Secrets, and I liked what he said, but his face scared me. I had to turn it upside down all the time. So anyway, I get this book and I bring it back to my little apartment and I'm reading it, and it all is like, yes, this is what I believe. This is what I believe. This is resonating for me. So I immediately called Kitty Davy at Meher Center because I've known about the center through Arthur. And I was like, my spring break is coming up. Can I come visit? Oh yes, come right on down. And I get on a bus from New York during my spring break because I'd gone up there to visit friends and took a bus from New York down to Myrtle Beach. And the rest is the history. He stamped me, and that was in 1978. So it's a long time ago, and that's my story. Do we have any other comments, questions, anything at all?
So tell us these pictures that you have painted, Marla,
Yes.
Baba. Uh, you had all these pictures. So how do you get inspiration? Which picture to pick up? Is there something?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's hard. For one thing, a lot of them are small and out of focus in the books. And so then I have to order an 8x10 or larger one. Um, it's not, it's not easy. Well, I don't know, some of them just speak to me. Like usually he has to have that glint in his eye and be looking at me. I feel like his energy has to really be in that photograph. And then I can bring it out. It's, if you work from life, you really have the life essence of the person in front of you. But if you work from a photograph, it's it's like you really have to reach into the photograph and pull out, what is the right color and the expression and getting the life force and the energy in there. So the photograph already has to have some of that for me. And I don't have a copy of Love Personified. I only have God in Human Form. It's really hard to get a copy of that book, Love Personified. If anyone has an extra one they want to sell, I would love a copy of that one at some point. Looked
That
like
makes two of us.
someone else had their hand up, I
Yes,
think.
Elizabeth. I was just about to call out. Elizabeth, Jai Baba. Could you unmute, Elizabeth?
Maybe she's gone away. Is there anyone else?
No, I couldn't unmute because it said the host wouldn't let me. So now I'm unmuted. Let me take my video, put my video on. I'm sorry, I just got up. Kind of. I had a flood yesterday. Marla, I just wanted to tell you how gorgeous your paintings are. I had no idea when you were in the play. I had no idea of your background or your not that it mattered, but I found out by doing the meditations, and I love the paintings that were being shown, and the way you capture Baba's face is amazing. I mean, you really capture his essence. When you look like the one you showed with the hair that was light and the rest is dark. I mean, that is really, it really draws you in. Anyway, they're all beautiful. Your books are beautiful. I got here late, so I didn't see much of everything, but I just want you to know how beautiful I think they are, and I just haven't had a chance to tell you. I was wondering if you're ever inspired by dreams.
I used to be in the past, not my Baba art, but I would say like in college, I did some artwork based on dreams. But I don't really have Baba dreams at all.
Oh,
I wish I did.
And are there other things that inspire you? Is it like landscapes, or I know you look at the photographs?
Let's see. I wanted to mention I've had several shows at the center in Myrtle Beach over the years. Every time I do a new batch of work, I don't plan to, they just come to me. Landscapes, no, it's too beautiful. I can't capture it. In fact, for years I was afraid to do Baba. I was like, how could I possibly do this? And I avoided it. And landscapes are overwhelming for me. I work and I do some abstract work, but I mostly do sort of narrative, figurative, symbolic work. If you go to my website, marlafaith.com, you'll see, I mean, there's portraits of women in nature based on photographs, but there's a lot of imaginary drawings and collages sort of influenced by Indian miniatures, Pahari miniatures from the Ramayana. I saw those in college and I love them. And Inuit paintings from, really love those shamanic kind of drawings. So it's a Kandinsky. I love Kandinsky. He was the first abstract artist in the early 1900s. Chagall, I love. So it's everything I've worked in a lot of art museums, and I've been in a lot of art museums. And so everything I think that you take in, that you see, sort of, comes back out. And then eventually it becomes your own. And a lot of you might be happy to hear this. I read an article not long ago that our humanity, a scientific study, our most productive years are between 60 and 70. And then second most is 50 and 60, and third most is 70 to 80. So from 50 to 80, we are in our prime to be creative. And that's why most, artists, great artists, I think today are my age and older. So I'm feeling like I'm really coming into my own finally.
Wow. That's great. That's great that you combine your writing and your art. So I find that if I draw something, it will inspire a poem. And I actually did one that's a poem that's similar to, reminds me of your Lamentations, because it was a scene of someone looking over somebody who'd passed away. And I think actually that came from a dream. But anyway, I really like the Lamentations with all the women, and I could actually recognize Arnavas in there.
Yeah, and I feel so fortunate because I've met most of those women, I was in India in 83, 87, and 92. Those are my only times there, but I was so lucky to meet them. But what you said about the poems and the art together, when I put together this book in 2017, I would find my poems that I wanted to put in, and then it would just turn out that I had art that went with it. It wasn't, they weren't made to be a pair, but they turned out that they wanted to be a pair.
So when you showed the Black Lotus, I thought I saw the shells here. I kept thinking of her singing Fall at His Lotus Feet, that song that she does that goes perfectly with your picture. And then Kalo, what's his, Diego Garcia's wife, that little homunculus reminds me of her work. You know him, Frida Kahlo.
Oh, Frida Kahlo. Oh yeah, I love, and Diego Rivera. I love them both. Yeah.
Yeah. So that homunculus reminds. Okay, I better quit talking because I've talked enough. Thank you.
No, thank you. Fun to connect with you.
And yes, since Elizabeth mentioned, just to share, thank you, Marla, for sharing these wonderful paintings for our Seven Realities meditation. And it is such a delight to see Baba just, seamlessly going from one painting to another while focusing on him and the Seven Realities. So, which is there tomorrow at 6 p.m. IST, which is 7:30 a.m. EST. So please be there with us, all those who you can. And
Guys, it's a great meditation. You just have to be there on time. You just have to wake up.
we have Ruth wanting to ask something. Jai Baba, Ruth.
Jai Baba. Good morning, good evening. I just wondered about that Seven Reality meditation. Is there a chance that you could do it a little bit later in the day next time?
Oh, you're not. We can't hear you, Roshan.
My cursor disappeared. Sorry. All right. Yes, in fact, we'll see. There are lots more people who want to do it. Maybe the next entire round of 7 Sundays we could do at post RT time. We could ask our master calendar head, Angela, to let me know, and we both will then fix up and have another round. For now, we have added the 8th Sunday to it for a full recap of all the 7 realities. So great. We are there till 6th December now for the series.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to Marla for the painting, sincerely. They look so beautiful.
Such an honor to be invited. I really appreciate sharing. I mean, all of these paintings are in my art shed in the back. I do have some in the house in every single room, but I have such an abundance, and they're all just hiding in the closet. So I'm really happy to share them. They're all for sale too.
Yeah, I would love to buy one, but I'm sure I can't afford it. But anyway,
Go
I
look
love
on my website. The prices
love
are
your
on the website.
they're beautiful. I don't say that about everybody's face. I also like Lori Bloom's. I have one of hers, um, of Baba on the donkey with all the fusion of
Hmm.
animals and foxes and anyway. But your paintings really help with the meditation.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ooh, I can see everyone now. Ooh.
Great. Would anybody else like to ask something? I loved the
Yes.
poems too, Marla. They were really beautiful.
Thanks. Jeff wants to ask something. Would you
Yes,
unmute,
Jeff.
Jeff?
It's actually each one can unmute. I don't know. Wait, put it on. Yeah. Yes, Jeff. Jeff Baba.
Hey, Baba Mola. This is kind of a sensitive personal question, but I would really appreciate if you're comfortable answering the question regarding the Holocaust with 6 million Jews and 4 million Christians that were murdered. I wonder if you could really intimately share with all of us, when you think about that, and you think about how our beloved Baba is not only watching over all of us, but taking care of all of us. And I'm trying to ask this question as spiritually diplomatically as I can. I can't even put out the question, but you know what I'm asking. How do you accept this? How do you understand it? And it may be non-understandable in words, and I'm trying to give you maybe a little, not out, but if you would talk to me, I'm asking you a question like I know you 1,000 years, because it is such an intimate question. And with that in mind, I'll surrender to your answer.
I wish I had the wisdom. I don't know. It's really hard for me. I can't understand. I mean, if I was living then during that time, it would have been very difficult for me to be with Baba and have that going on and saying, why don't you do something? I think just like what's happening now in America with our politics, I feel like it's not it's not in God's hands. It's people have their own will, and this is the people who are doing this. It's like, I'm watching, but I as Baba, like I feel like he's sad. That's why his face looks so sad. Every picture I do, there's happiness and extreme sadness I see in his face at the same time, because it's almost like his hands are tied. I feel like, how can he cut through this ignorance, that is so, I mean, my husband told me that 50% of the world's population, again, a proven scientific thing, is below like under intelligence level. I forget what it is, like half of us are intelligent and half of us are morons, which we see, and morons following morons. And it's really, really, really hard for me. I know a lot of Jewish people just like said, forget it. I don't believe in Judaism or religion or anything once the Holocaust happened. They're like, if there was a God, how could this happen? So it's a really, and he didn't, to me, he didn't say enough about it in the books. I should go back and look. But yet, look at all the Jewish Baba lovers, I mean, what does that mean? I'd love to talk about it more. We should probably have a discussion group on it.
I wish Baba had spoken or written more about it. It would have been,
For sure.
because we're all looking for security. It is a tremendous attachment. We are all looking for comfort. It is a tremendous attachment. It's not our own fault. It's part of the human condition. We're brought up in, a manner with our parents that are sometimes a little bit too protective. And, and then you see somebody like this president, or you see somebody like the Iraq war president, and all those beautiful people being murdered and killed. And I just look at this, and there's a good, like your beautiful paintings that you said, part of me is like trusting, and the other part is like, how could this be? And there's the sadness and the beautiful, beautiful happiness of Baba and his love exuding. And It's the paradox, and paradoxes can't quite be understood, but I do appreciate what you said, Marla.
I mean, I have a couple poems I didn't read that sort of go to that are more about that, and I don't know if I can find where they are right now in the books. But art is my way of healing and dealing with it, because it is overwhelming.
And your heart and soul come through your art. It's the first time I've seen it, but oh my!
Thank you.
I mean, you really.
Well, it's it's being a channel. It's Baba coming through. It's shaped by my own, taste, but it's totally, allowing myself to be a channel with poems and with the art, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To
get out of the way. I feel like what the whole point of art and poetry is, like Baba says, you go and I come. It's like, if I can get out of the way, I can be a pure vessel for his love. And that's been my goal in teaching. I spent my life as a teacher, art teacher, and as whatever I make. I just want to disappear.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So Roshani, we've got 2 minutes left. Should I find?
I will just play the dhun and followed by the arti.
Okay.
Just a second. We have a little bit of tech challenges today. Please bear with me.
Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Meher Baba, 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 Meher Baba.
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
O glorious, eternal, ancient one, your face is a bright, transcendental sun. Lighten this dark world and the tears I weep. My heart, meher, I give to you to speak. Creator, yet creationless you are. Truth and truth's body, divine avatar. Through compassion, the three worlds maintain. Destroy this ignorance that life sustains. These five lights are the whirling spokes of breath of the world's wheel that bears me unto death. Unless you are infinitely kind, break the wheels of wicked conditioned minds. This incense is my love, these fruits my art, which to please you I have shaped from my heart. Accept them as you would a simple flower that has no use beyond its shining hour. You are myself, I sing to you in grace, and beg your love to bear me through the day. Till you, the ever-living perfect one, illume my darkness with your shining sun.
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। We'll have 1 minute of silence. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। Please, अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
जय। Avatar
Meher Baba ki jai.
Hai. Thank you, Marla, once again for this wonderful presentation with all full of Baba's love. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jai
Thank you,
Baba.
everybody. Jai Baba. Great.
We have a concert which is upcoming, so please stay on, everyone, whoever can. Unless Diwali dinner time, then grab a bite and sit next to your screen.
I have to go. I'm sorry. I had a
Love the
flood
occasional
yesterday.
booms. It's really very
I
exciting.
would like to sing. I would like to sing if
Yes, go
we
ahead.
have time. Okay, I would like to sing Ocean of Love. Jai Baba. I am the ocean where all have begun. I am beloved sublime. I am the ocean where all finally come. I am the one beyond time. I am the one beyond time. For I am the one who made heaven and earth, planets and stars up above. I am the treasure of infinite worth. I am the ocean of love. I am the ocean of love. I am the ocean of limitless joy, infinite consciousness too. I am the music that never will cloy. I am the ocean in you. I am the ocean in you. For I am the one who made heaven and earth, planets and stars up above. I am the treasure of infinite worth. I am the ocean of love. I am the ocean of love. I am the ocean of unending peace, infinite hearing and sight. You from your chains I have come to release into my ocean of light, into my ocean of light. For I am the one who made heaven and earth, planets and stars up above. I am the treasure of infinite worth. I am the ocean of love. I am the ocean of love. I am the ocean of unbroken calm. Infinite bliss I am too. I've been called Jesus and Buddha and Ram, and now Meher Baba by you. And now Meher Baba by you. For I am the one who made heaven and earth, planets and stars up above. I am the treasure of infinite worth. I am the ocean of love. I am the ocean of love. Drown in my ocean of love. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Meher, you've got your hand up. Would you like to share anything?
Jai Baba, sorry, I'd like to just read a small one again. This is also on Diwali. This real Diwali to light up the lamp of love in one's heart. And when the lamp is lit, then of course you don't need any words to say. you see the light, and that is real Diwali. Jai Baba. Thank you.